back to Follow Up Powers, how to build a great sales organization alongside Greg Wallach and with Ryan Groff. And the next piece that we want to talk about here is hiring the right people. We talk about in building yourself, 50% of forecasted sales are lost due to Salesforce turnover. That's pretty true. Everybody who may be watching this can relate. You're talking about training, investing the time and the leads, okay, and then all those resources, and then for that to not work out is really tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. Well, I've lived it. You've lived it. So what do we learn through that? What have you learned, Greg, through your journey in building a team? How to hire the right people? What do we need to talk about here that we need to hear? So.
Well, I hate to say this, but I have hired so many seasoned, experienced roofing salespeople over the years.
Right.
And what I have found is that at the end of the day, they come in with bad habits. We refer to them around the shop now as retreads. They just go from company to company to company to company, and we have found in the long run, it's better to hire the right behavior, the right character, somebody who has honesty, somebody who has integrity, and teach them the roofing trade.
So that's great. Like, I've heard you share this before. I can teach someone roofing, but I can't teach them how to behave.
You know what? Their mama and daddy should have taught them that. And I'm not in the behavior modification business. I'm in the roofing business.
Sure.
So now, if it's a salesperson, we can teach somebody how to be a salesperson for our company in maybe 30 days by just shadowing somebody else, learning the terminology.
Learning the sales process.
Learning the sales process. Now, if they're an estimator, that's a different story. If you're estimating,
more technical.
Yeah. Right. If they're estimating and selling, that's a longer time commitment. That's going to probably be, 6 months to a year. But that's why I like segregating the two.
Right. Sure.
You can get a salesperson up much faster than you can an estimator.
So hire character, train skill. What are some of the character virtues you're looking for that you guys subscribe to that are big?
Being on time.
Okay.
Being reliable. Do what you say.
Do what you say. Integrity, yeah.
Yeah, integrity. Being responsible. Meeting deadlines. Achieving results. Having a track record of achievement.
How do you do that?
In something else.
Looking for somebody outside of maybe roofing experience, and you're trying to find a track record of somebody achieving something. Where do you start? What kind of questions?
In the interviewing process, I always ask, what's the most significant professional and personal thing that you've accomplished? Mm-hmm. I ask questions like, who do you really respect? Who's the person who's made the most impact on your life? Mm-hmm. I had a person the other day that I was interviewing, and he happened to tell me the person who had the most impact in his life, and I happened to have known this person, and I wouldn't hire him if he said that was the person with the most impact, because I wasn't impressed with that person.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions that you can ask that are going to tell you a lot about the character of an individual.
Yeah, it's not a silver bullet, right? Like, no. You can have someone who was an actor in college, or some thespian for arts, and they may be the greatest salesperson. Yeah. Because they've achieved. Doesn't mean they have to be an athlete necessarily, or they have to have accomplished any and it's nice because you could speak that language. I like athletes because they could speak the language, but at the end of the day, it's if they pull up their bootstraps and have the discipline to achieve something and overcome that kind of character virtue, they got some grit, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I always do is I do a personality profile. I personally like the DISC profiles. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are other personality profiles out there. They all basically do similar things. Whatever the one you get plugged into is the one that you should use consistently.
Yep.
But one of the things that I did was once we realized how great these personality profiles were to telling us how somebody's going to behave in the future. What we did was we profiled all of our existing people in the company, and we looked at our best people, and we said, what kind of profile is that? And then when we were interviewing, and we would find somebody who had a profile similar to the best person that we had, you got a higher likelihood of that person being successful.
That's good. So take some of the emotion, the feeling out of it, bring a little science into it.
Yeah.
And another thing, we both read this book, and it's The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni.
Yeah.
Great book.
Yeah.
And he talks about the 3 character virtues, and it's a great book. If you haven't read it, putting a plug for Patrick. Great book. He talks about those 3 character virtues: being humble, hungry,
and smart.
And it's like not IQ. It's people smart, but
emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. So that's some great stuff to look for. Those 3 character virtues, and
something else that a lot of people do sort of a poor job on is reference checks.
Yeah, because you get so excited about somebody.
You like somebody, the
like,
profile
oh,
comes out, you go, oh man, I need you now.
Yeah, come on, let's go. We can start, right?
But reference checks are huge, and you know what? You want to find some references other than who they've given you, because think about it. If somebody gives you a list of references, the first thing they did was they called up, hey Joe, I've got somebody going to call you. You're going to give me a good reference here, right?
Yeah,
okay, they've already primed it. I've never had anybody give me references where somebody gave me a bad reference. But so you want to do some of your own research on some references. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really good. So awesome. Well, very good. Thank you for sharing that. So hiring the right people, there's a lot there to consume. Disc profiling, or personality profiles, hire character, train the skill. Those are technical, is a little harder to get up to speed than sales itself and relationship building, because those are behavior traits that they probably already have in them to some measure. Look for somebody that's overcome much and has a track record of achieving success, and they can learn the trade, but you can't teach them how to behave, right?
Right.
Anything else?
Past success predicts future success. If somebody's been a winner before, there's a good chance they're going to be a winner again.
Sure.
But if somebody has never achieved anything, you might be out there on Hope Island waiting for them to make that achievement. So,
I've been
hire
there.
winners.
I've done that. I've been on Hope Island myself with employees. I know you have. Sometimes you just got to go through it, right? But hopefully you could save yourself some mistakes and some heartache and get a little quicker to where you want to be, right?
Right.
All right, so thank you very much, and look for the next module of this series, How to Build a Great Sales Organization.